10 dangerous countries with nuclear weapons and ambitions. On July 16, 1945, we witnessed the first nuclear bomb test. Nuclear weapons introduced a new degree of technology, as well as a new potential to inflict devastation and horror to the human experience and to the interactions between states. Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new video on the channel. Today we are going to talk about 10 dangerous countries with nuclear weapons and ambitions. Before we get started with the video, don't forget to smash the like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get started. Number 10. Syria. Uncertain technology, unstable regime. A group of Israeli bombers damaged a nuclear plant at Al-Kibar in Syria in September 2007. This reactor, an exact replica of a North Korean type, was positioned in a secluded area, which, combined with its lack of connectivity to any electrical network, suggested that its sole purpose could be to aid in the creation of nuclear weapons. While Syria denied the presence of a reactor at the site and claimed Israel had just attacked a storehouse, Syria's efforts to clean up any signs of the site, as well as its refusal to allow foreign inspections, showed it may have had something to conceal. Its removal of international inspectors after suspicious, but not conclusive uranium particles were discovered on the site also implies that Al-Kibar was more than just a warehouse. Number 9. Libya. A nuclear bullet dodged in a protracted civil war. Since the 2011 revolution that resulted in the demise of long-standing tyrant Muammar Gaddafi, Libya has been mired in instability that has erupted into outright civil war. Two competing governments, one aligned with the Libyan military and the other with Islamist organizations and militias, vie for control of Libya, whose people have had to deal with the loss of essential services and a functioning economy as the country has descended into disorder and uncertainty. With everything that is clearly wrong in Libya, pointing out a bright spot seems almost ludicrous. There is one major exception. In 2003, Libya's leadership announced an agreement with the United States and the United Kingdom to remove its nuclear, chemical, and biological weapons stockpiles. As a result, as Gaddafi's government disintegrated, he was unable to use nuclear weapons to maintain control. Number 8. Iran. Iran does not possess nuclear weapons yet. There is debate concerning the country's ability and motivation to create nuclear weapons. What is known is that Iran's nuclear technology, which the government has consistently said is only used for peaceful energy and medical purposes, comprises many facilities capable of producing weapons-grade enriched plutonium and or uranium. In July 2015, the United States, the United Kingdom, France, China, Russia, and Germany, along with the European Union, signed an agreement with Iran to relax hefty economic sanctions in exchange for efforts by Iran that would prevent or significantly slow the country's ability to produce nuclear weapons. The answer is related to geopolitical concerns arising from Iran's relative power and location in the area. Number 7. China. China has been embroiled in a variety of regional security concerns, including territorial disputes with Japan and the Philippines, among others, in the South and East China Seas. The U.S. also got involved in October 2015, sending a naval destroyer through a constructed island chain that China claims, but that the U.S. and its regional allies argue is in international waters. While the contest for regional dominance is certain to continue, few expect these disagreements to escalate to the brink of nuclear war. While China has developed submarines capable of launching nuclear missiles capable of hitting the U.S., which could theoretically spark Cold War-style tensions between the two, some experts argue that China is merely attempting to ensure a mutual vulnerability through technology that ensures at least a few of its estimated 250 nuclear warheads survive to counter an all-out attack. Number 6. India. One of India's motivations for acquiring nuclear weapons, which it first tested in 1974, was most likely the ongoing simmering tensions with neighboring arch-rival Pakistan. After Pakistan tested its own nukes in 1998, India promptly reacted with additional tests, provoking Pakistan to test again. This tit-for-tat testing demonstrated the two countries' willingness to prove their power and emerge victorious. While the exchange of nuclear tests has ceased, the exchange of harsh language between Indian and Pakistani officials has not. While India has committed to preventing the first use of nuclear weapons in a battle between the two nations, Pakistan has not, possibly due to concerns about India's conventional military dominance, raising fears that the conflict may soon become nuclear. Number 5. Israel. Israel is a one-of-a-kind member of the nuclear club, with its government never openly admitting to producing or owning nuclear weapons. Despite this policy of nuclear ambiguity and efforts by allies such as the US to avoid making definite comments on the existence of Israeli nuclear weapons, most experts agree that such an arsenal exists. Israel's official policy is that it will not be the first in the Middle East to introduce nuclear weapons, which has been understood to mean that it will not test or publicly admit its military nuclear capabilities. While the stated rationale for this approach was to prevent inciting a rush to obtain nuclear weapons among Israel's Arab neighbors and Iran, the open knowledge of Israel's nuclear capability has undoubtedly produced some regional instability. Number 4. Pakistan. Pakistan is thought to have around 120 nuclear weapons at the moment. While that number is small, Pakistan's arsenal is the world's fastest growing, and some experts believe that if it continues at its current rate, Pakistan might have the world's third largest nuclear arsenal by 2025, trailing only the United States and Russia. Pakistan's nuclear arsenal poses a number of threats. Pakistan has offered nuclear technology to rogue governments such as North Korea while not being a party to the worldwide nuclear non-proliferation treaty. The government has also refused to adopt a no-first-use policy on nuclear weapons, citing the potential necessity to oppose an invasion by arch-rival and neighbor India, with which it has previously fought 3 wars. Number 3. Russia. Russia is one of the world's most fearsome nuclear powers, with a nuclear arsenal believed to number more than 4,500 bombs. In addition to the hazards of disaster that such a big arsenal poses, Russian nuclear weapons have highlighted the country's government's growing bellicosity. With the annexation of Crimea in 2014 and subsequent assistance for pro-Russian rebels in Ukraine, Russia has adopted an increasingly hostile posture in its interactions with other countries under President Vladimir Putin. Putin announced in June 2015 that Russia would add 40 intercontinental ballistic missiles to its arsenal, owing in part to the placement of anti-missile defense systems near its borders. Number 2. USA. Since the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945, the United States is the only country in possession of nuclear weapons that has actually used them for military purposes. More than 100,000 people were killed in the initial blasts, and tens of thousands were afflicted, some fatally, by radiation exposure. President Truman authorized the use of nuclear bombs with the aim of quickly ending the war, citing forecasts of 1 million dead if a ground invasion was required to gain Japanese capitulation. 6 days after the Nagasaki explosion, Japanese Emperor Hirohito declared his country's surrender. Nuclear warheads were unintentionally flown throughout the country for more than a day in 2007 before the Air Force realized they were missing. The most pressing concern posed by the United States nuclear cache is an accident. With a nuclear arsenal of over 5,000 warheads and a long history of close calls. Number 1. North Korea. North Korea's nuclear program, like the country as a whole, is cloaked in mystery and supposition. North Korea, also known as the DPRK, which has conducted 3 nuclear tests, has one of the lesser arsenals in the nuclear club. Experts estimate North Korea's nuclear cache to be between 10 and 15 warheads. Furthermore, while North Korea has stated that it is capable of miniaturizing nuclear weapons, military and scientific experts are divided on the veracity of this assertion. That's a wrap on the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, let me know by giving it a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.